Good morning. Here we are again. What's up, everybody? How goes it? How goes it? Here we are again for another little morning chat. Wake my brain up. See what y'all are up to, man. I've only been up for about an hour and a half. I usually like about 2 hours. So I figure I'll finish this. Oh man, I didn't come prepared. I should have grabbed me like a coffee or something. I always do that, man. See, most of the time, like 95 to 98% of the time, when I pop on like any kind of video, whether it's a tarot video or something like this, I usually don't really have it too planned out. It's usually a spur of the moment thing, like, all right, time to go to work or something like that. So wish I would have grabbed me a coffee or something. Anyway, there y'all are. What's up? How y'all doing? Good morning. I can't go get a coffee now. What am I going to do? End the video? Can't do it now. It's too late. Can't leave y'all hanging that long. If I was doing it on my phone, I could. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Y'all looking forward to Christmas? I know we talked about it yesterday, man, but I'm pumped. I love this time of year. Dude, 2022 went by so fast. I know we talked about this already, but every time I think about it, it freaks me out. I'm not even like being dramatic. It like literally scares the shit out of me when I think about how fast it went by. Every year is going faster and faster and faster. It's like I'm sitting and thinking like I'll be like scrolling Facebook or something like that and like see a memory pop up, from spring 2021. And my thought process is, oh, that was like a few months ago, I'm like, no, that was almost 2 years ago. That was like a year and a half ago. What the fuck? I'm getting on Leah's nerves with it a little bit too. I'm like, I can't get over it, dude. It freaks me out. Ever since the clock struck 2020, I thought that year went by fast, and it did. I think 2020 went by at about double the rate, the rate of time, the way it feels, and then 2021 went by a little bit faster than that. Now 2022 is just like, when I say it feels like it was maybe a month or two ago, last Christmas, I'm not even playing with you, dude. Man, how fast is 2023 going to go by? It's crazy. It's crazy. So no, I know that's the thing that gets me is that's what they say. The older you get, the faster it goes. And that is true. I noticed that when I was, in my 20s and whatnot, it started speeding up and whatnot. But for some reason, I don't know what it is about just since the clock struck 2020. I mean, like I didn't even get a lead up to this or nothing, I mean, yes, obviously when you're a little kid, I remember when I was a little kid, dude, fucking a month would feel like a year, and it was the opposite. And then it started picking up and getting quick when I was in my 20s. And, even up when I was 30, 31, let's see, I guess I was 32 in 2020. And then it just, I don't know, time just hit the NOS button or something, dude. I don't know. But anyway, here we are. Yeah. Well, also too, I think that I think for most people, I could be wrong on this, but I know like me and most people I know, your 20s suck, right? It sucks. And then I remember being kind of creeped out when I was about to hit 30, thinking, oh my God, I'm old now. And it's like, no, the 20s was the beta testing part of your adulthood, It's like, I don't even count that as part of your adult life. Not really. because you're not even like the way like your brain isn't even done developing. It's not even done developing until you're like 25, 26, something like that. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't even count that as part of my adult life. I don't. I honestly do not. I seriously don't. But anyway, here we are. So what y'all up to, man? Oh, I want to get a bunch of work done today. I got some personal readings. I actually have a reading that was late. I got a late reading that I got to get to. So anyway, I got a bunch of work to do. Bunch of work. So I want to get on here and get pumped up. Get ready for the day. Y'all ready? I'm not doing anything. I didn't work out this weekend though. I didn't work out. I didn't do that. Here for the past month or so. Been saving the workouts through Monday through Friday. And I don't know. I'm kind of weird about rest days. Like, there will be some times that I just won't rest at all. That's the cool thing about, the fitness journey is I'm able to listen to my body now and I can tell when it needs rest, So I did rest this weekend and I rested. Did I rest last weekend? Maybe one day. Anyway, getting pumped up, man. Getting pumped up. Yeah. 20, man, your 20s, for me, it was rough, dude. Oh, it sucked. I wouldn't wish my 20s on anybody. It was rough for me, boy. Oh my God. And you know what is just so like synchronistic? The year I turned 30 is when my life really started changing for the better. I had a good little resting point. My last year of my 20s was a good little resting point to relax, like when I was 29, from 29 to 30, that 1 year was a good little resting point, but it was still rough. But there were no more cataclysmic, crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the year I turned 30, that was when everything started changing for the better. It's just like, wow, it didn't even wait, did it? It didn't even wait. That doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, it's just been easy breezy, but it's just cool and kind of synchronistic how I don't know, that's the way it worked for me. And people always talk about and I forget what it is, something astrologically. Some of y'all might be able to tell me who know more about actual astrology, like something to do with your late 20s and one of the planets or something like that. I don't even remember, but it made sense. It made sense. Yeah, I don't like. I try not to like say that there's a one size fits all, but I'm pretty sure the majority of us. I don't think I've met too many people who have it easy in their 20s. I don't think so. It's usually pretty rough. I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there. There's exceptions to everything, but most people that I've met, their 20s are pretty damn rough. But the thing about it is, too, one thing that I've noticed in everybody, so maybe there is a one size fits all. Correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody I've ever met, we all have one thing in common. Once you get up to your late 20s, you're at a crossroads. You're at a crossroads. Are you going to evolve or repeat? Which one? Swear. You're at a crossroads. Are you going to evolve or repeat? I mean, if your 20s are rough enough, you're going to evolve, right? If they're rough enough, I think. It just depends on how painful it is, dude. Some people, I don't know, man. There's some people out there that I don't know, the pain never taught them anything, I guess. I can't understand. I mean, people just get so comfortable in like their toxic lifestyle that they would rather stay in a toxic cycle than deal with the discomfort of breaking out of it, Because it doesn't matter how toxic it is, your comfort zone's your comfort zone, Have you ever met somebody who did like some serious time in prison? And a lot of times they don't even want to leave. They let them out. I've met people, I shit you not, who did like 15 years in prison, and they get out and they say, I don't even like it. I want to go back, because it was comfortable. It became their new norm. It became their comfort zone. This is how we're wired. But I don't know. I was one of those people that I said, I don't care what it takes. Nothing is more uncomfortable than being stuck here. As long as you got that mentality, man, nothing's holding you back. I don't think. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I was talking about that yesterday, Carrie, about how, it's a constant, life is constant evolution. And that's the only way. I don't remember how I worded it yesterday, but I remember I was saying something to the effect of like the best way to minimize like horrible things happening to you is to keep constantly growing and constantly evolving. But nobody wants to because growth and evolution is uncomfortable, you know? But that is, I'm not going to say there's just one reason, but that is, if I was to say the primary objective, incarnating as a human on planet Earth, it's to grow and evolve. That's the primary reason why we come here. And I think a lot of us don't realize how hard it is, or we forget between, like the long-term humans, they might forget between lifetimes sometimes. I don't know. But we do this thing where we climb a little bit and then we get to a comfortable spot and then we want to sit and chill. And then the universe is like, come on, all right, your break time's up. You're gonna get up and keep climbing. All right, bam, smack you back down to rock bottom. And you got to get back up and climb again because we've been misled into believing that in this lifetime, the goal is to just be comfortable, and it's not. That's not the goal. It's not the goal, man. It's not the goal. But the cool thing about it is once you get used to growing and evolving, you become comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. I know that sounds like paradoxical as hell, but anyway. Yep, never ends. Never ever ends. Yep. Those kind of things happen, man. That's when I went homeless too. Sapphires and dreams. That's when I went homeless, is when I was 27. And that was rough, boy. But it's funny because I'm not saying that it wasn't rough, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be in the way that I thought it was going to be. Yes, it was humiliating, it was embarrassing, it was horrible, but at the same time, it was weird how it was like a resting point to recharge. It was bizarre how I started thinking, man, you know what? This is pretty damn cool to just be able to let loose and have no responsibilities. Like not one, not one, not one responsibility. It's a good little resting point, Some people get trapped in it though, and they want to stay there forever. But for me, I thought it was kind of liberating to, for the first time in my life, just be able to let go and just say, fine, I ain't got no damn responsibility. I don't got to pay for the street lights to be on. I don't got to pay rent to live under the bridge. I don't have to go anywhere. I have no deadlines to meet. I don't have anything to live up to. Nobody gives a shit about me. I could die right now and nobody gives a fuck. So in a way, in a way, it was kind of like liberating in a strange way. It was like a reset period. It was like a reset period. And it's funny too. Wow, I'm having this epiphany now because I was hearing somebody the other day refer to near-death experiences as a reset period. And that's what it felt like to me that year that I lost everything. It was like when you shut the computer down and then you reboot it. And that's kind of like what that was, Yeah. Yep. Anyway, though. Anywho. And it changes your worldview, whenever you get to hit that rock bottom like that. I don't know, man. Like I've always said, for those of you who have followed me for a while, you've heard me talk about it a million times. But like I've always said, I'm thankful for that experience. Thankful for every experience, man. There's some people that is such a slippery debate to have because there's some people, and you know what I honestly think it is? It's the long term humans. It's the long term humans. You know that argument where people say, "Oh, if you look back and you don't have any regrets, you're a bad person," or "If you have no regrets, there's something wrong with you. We all have things that we regret." And it's like, yeah, you a long term human. You like this fucking game, don't you? That's how you can tell. That's like if you sit, you can tell who the long term humans are, dude. You can sit and pick their brain. You know, it's like, oh, you're that obsessed with this game. You're that fucking obsessed with the human game that you're actually going to look back at something as a regret and hang on to that energy, and you're going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back with all these like a obsessed little kid playing a video game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really, honestly, I've thought about that. I've heard both sides of that argument so many times. And I'm one of those people that, like, I legitimately, wholeheartedly would not change anything. I really would not. You could put a time machine in front of me right now and give me the ability to go back and change anything. And I'd tell you to shove that time machine up your ass. I don't have any, I wouldn't go back and change anything. Now, that doesn't mean that I would want to go back and relive it again. Oh, no. Oh, no. But I wouldn't change it, you know? Like, even because I remember, like, anytime that I think about the worst thing that I ever lived through, I always think about the time that I ended up homeless in the wintertime. Dude, oh my God. Homeless in the winter? That was the most horrific, horrendous. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I ain't got nowhere to go in the cold. Got to sleep at 10 degrees outside, nowhere to go. I'll just have to go hang out at the mall and just sit there. Dirty, nasty clothes on, starving to fucking death, haven't eaten anything in like 3 days, and just sitting there in the mall waiting until it closes. And then once the mall closes, you got to leave. Nowhere to go. Dude, it was horrific, man. But if that hadn't happened, that happening, let me tell you a little story. That happening was the reason why I met the person that inspired my tarot career. Does that make sense? Because somebody found out about it somehow, like, and offered me a place to live. Said, if you can make it here, it was all the way on the other side of the country. If you can make it here, you can stay with me, And that was the person that I experienced this insane connection with. And things went wrong. And this person lived in my fucking head for like a year, 2 years. And that's the only reason I ever picked up fucking tarot cards. So there's no way that I ever would have connected with this person that lived 1,200 miles away from me if I didn't almost freeze to death. You see what I'm saying? Does this make sense? Like that period in my story is like the most horrific, horrendous experience of my entire journey is going to sleep, freezing, not knowing if I'm going to wake up in the morning, Every night I went to bed knowing that I might not wake up. This could be my last night. This could be like it right here, because I know it's going to dip down 10 degrees, 5 degrees. Am I going to make it through the night? I don't know. That was horrific, dude. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't even be where I am today. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense? You got to look at it like that. This is how we got to start looking back at our life and connecting dots, And I get it. If you're at a place in life where you don't want to be, I understand that. Okay, well, that's when we got to start playing with the future then, That's when we ain't got no time for regret unless you're a long-term karmic human, If you're a long-term karmic human and you love this human game, I don't know if I have a whole lot of advice that would help you. Not if you're addicted to the human game. You probably actually, I don't know if I would feel safe saying that there are a lot of long-term humans that even watch me. Maybe they do, I don't know. But typically, maybe if you're a long-term human coming out of the game, as Naya used to say, a long-term human coming out of the game. So maybe then, but anyway, I didn't have no solid landing point with that. I did not. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm making a strong effort. Arcana Shores. I'm making a strong effort to at least get on here maybe once a week. You know, so I got to start making this part of the routine again. I just got bored, man. I ran out of shit to talk about. But I would always be getting emails and messages and shit talking about, I love the advice you give and I changed my life with it and this and that. So I'm like, well, that's my duty. That's my real job. So I got to keep that going. That's my real job. My real job is not flipping tarot cards. That's not my real job. That's my earthly job. That's not my actual assignment. Anyway, let's get the candles going, man. I don't know if I'm going to be on here for a full hour though this morning. Let's see. It is 6:57 a.m. Vegas time. So, sometime here in the next 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to go get me something to eat. I'm starving. Anywho. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know I don't really know what advice to give a long-term human. I don't really know. I don't know. I mean, because I can't really comprehend what it would be like to be that addicted to this human game. I'm not saying that I don't get it. I'm not saying that. I mean, there's a lot of things, especially over the past few years, that I take a look back and I'm like, oh, I can at least understand. It doesn't mean that I see it this way, but I can at least understand why the humans play this game. Okay, I get that. Do I want to do it again? No. Fuck no. But there are some things about this human game that's like, okay, that's why the humans do this shit. Okay. And I'm starting to get more of an understanding, but I don't know because how can I explain this? I've never been asked a question like that. So, like, seriously, you have to think about it. Have you ever met a person who is addicted to a video game? You know, And it's very much like that. That's the way the long-term humans are with being human. They're like addicted to this like it's a video game, you know? And then they want to come back and they want to play it with every character, every weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like the humans, they want to come here, they want to be every gender, they want to be every race, every religion, the good guy, the bad guy. They want to play it all. And I'm like, I don't think this game is that interesting. Not that interesting. I don't care to keep coming back and trying it from all these different perspectives. It's just not that interesting. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what advice I would give to a long term human. I really don't. I really don't because I don't care. I don't care that much about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know because if you're giving advice to a long-term human, you're going to be giving them advice on how to actually work out their like karmic situations and whatnot. When it's like, okay, well, first of all, that's really, really slippery because you, as one individual, only have so much power over this karmic situation that you're in. Okay, you especially if it's like a relationship, you got a whole other person that has to play that game with you. I can't tell you as an individual what to do, you know, because you're going to have both of you. I would have to be sitting and talking to both of you. I would have to have you and the person you're dealing with sitting in front of me, willing to listen and do the work. Then in that case, yes, I could, and that would be very taxing to be able to take you and be able to speak a language that you understand so that you can energetically tap in and figure out what changes need to be made and this and that. And then the person that you're dealing with, who is a completely different individual, who sees the world through a totally different lens, and then speak a language that they understand. And then bring the two of you together like this, that would be some fucking work, dude. And I don't even, I mean, that would be what it would take in order to actually give you advice on working out like a karmic relationship, for example. I would have to be talking to both of you. So, first of all, I'm only talking to one of you. Second of all, I don't really, I mean, this is just the icing on the cake. The fact that I don't really care about the game that much. It's not that I couldn't do it, but that just helps. And not only that, but I know how energy works. So I can tell you, well, this is what you have to do. And if you do it like this for a long, drawn out period of time, and you really change the energetic pattern of what you're vibrating at right now, you can in turn cut the contract, release it. But then again, if you're a long term human, do you even want to release it? You may not even want to. So see what I'm saying? Does this make sense? That's why I think my my light that I shine is mainly meant to attract people who are coming out of the game. Whether you're a star seed, a volunteer, a long-term human, if you're tired of the old 3D human game, you don't like it, or whatever the case may be, then come on, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go to the new planet, you know? And then those of you who just love it, just obsessed with it, you want to keep sinking down lower and lower to the lowest vibrations of 3D that you possibly can, and just be angry and bitter and resentful and just filled with hate and anger and fighting each other and all this shit. You go there. That's not where me and my people are going. No, we going this way. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. Anyway, though. Yeah, I think I mean there's no, like I said, there's not really a one size fits all, but yeah, there could very easily be long-term humans that can, help other people and whatnot. Because everybody's here doing something different. That's the thing. It's hard to even categorize. We humans, we like to think categorically. So, this is where we create these little categories of long-term human and starseed. But it's really a lot more convoluted and complex than that, because we're all here doing something different. We're all here doing something different. The way that I look at it is, do you want to play the 3D game or not? So to answer that question about whether or not a long-term human can help a newbie get through their journey easier, but what is getting through their journey? Does it make sense? What is your end goal on your journey? Like, my end goal is to play through the human game and come up out of it. Long-term humans could be playing their journey just to come back and do an even harder journey. And this makes sense. It gets really, really complex. I mean, it gets really complex. Typically, I think most long-term humans are not done playing this game. They're not done playing it. You got some that want to stay in 3D. Then you got a bunch of long-term humans who just want to stay in 4D. They just want to stay there. And hey, do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm one of those people that I want to do the best that I can to play through it, climb up out of the whole damn thing. And you got to play through it too. We got to get out of this mentality that there's like a border. There is no border that says, okay, 3D, woo, welcome to 4D. And no. It's a gradual working through process, So we're going to have to play through 4D as well, but you got to, no matter what the damn game is, you have to play through it. That's why I tell all the star seeds, Find a long-term human and listen to them. Like David Goggins. Just again, like I'm going to mention that dude again. I'm not big on name dropping. So this but I've thought long and hard about mentioning this dude's name. It's just a weird thing about me. I don't know. I'm just not big on name dropping for whatever reason, but this dude, long-term human. Listen to him. If you sit, you know what he said? He said this many times. His biggest fear is to die and go over to the other side and see this big long list of shit he was supposed to do but didn't do. That's his biggest fear. Why the fuck would somebody have a fear like that? It's happened before. That's why he has a fear like that. That's why. So you pick somebody like that. You can tell you played this game a lot, bro. So I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to pick out a long-term human. Doesn't mean that I have to agree with everything somebody says, Doesn't mean that at all. But I'm going to pick out a human who's played this game millions of times. And no, I may not agree with everything that you say. No, you may. And there's some other people too on the internet, who they open up their mouth and some of the dumbest shit comes out. I'm not talking about David Goggins, but there are other people who, but I can tell how to play this game. And if I can tell that you know how to play this game, I'm going to listen to everything that you say. And just because I don't agree with you morally doesn't mean that I can't take something that you said and apply it to my life. So I don't know. Anywho. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. What's your name? Tara Shree? What is your take on a couple where one of the two are spiritual and the other relies heavily on logic and reason? Okay. Well, you got one or two choices. Well, one of three choices. Either A, stay where you're at on the same vibration, which is what you got is what you got. B, keep on ascending and evolving. And this is where the third choice comes in. If you choose to keep ascending and evolving, one or two things is going to happen. That person is either going to have to make the decision to evolve with you, or the two of you have to separate. Because the only way to make a relationship last like that is to stay stuck in the same vibration. See what I'm saying? Look, here, check this out. This is I did this in a video already. What is this? Okay, I did this in a video already, but I'm going to draw it out again here. And I'm always going to default to this. The mountain. This is the mountain. Remember the video I did, Why You Lose People on the Manifestation Journey? I still got it written out on my whiteboard up there too. So this is the mountain. Here's rock bottom. There's rock bottom down there, if you can see that. And here's the top up here, obviously. So this is very much like what our journey is like. These are different frequencies, different energetic bandwidths. And let's say you're here at this one. Let's say you're here at this one. Okay. Now, when you take a look around at everything and everyone that is in your life, I mean, everything and everyone, from the house you live in to the car you drive, the money that you make, your coworkers, your friends, everybody who is actually a part of your life is on this frequency with you. And you can fluctuate a lot up and down within this vibration. You can go a little bit higher, a little bit lower, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. But if you go too far up this way or too far down this way, Anybody who is staying on this frequency will separate from you. Period. There's no way to outsmart that. There's no way to manipulate that. There's no exception to that. That is an immutable universal law. Now, in my video I did the other day, I used income, but let's just say that it's spiritual awareness, just for example. So in this little bandwidth right here, this is a certain bandwidth or a certain level of spiritual awareness. You know, you go all the way up here. This is, for this particular bandwidth, the maximum level of spiritual awareness. And this is the minimum level of spiritual awareness before you move to a different frequency. It's like you're like a radio. You're just like a radio. Okay. Right now, you're tuned into 102.3. You know, and 102.3, what's playing on 102.3? Say it's classic rock. Well, if you just sit there waiting for 102.3 to play hip hop, it's not going to happen. You got to turn that radio dial. Does this make sense? So that you tune into a different frequency, a different reality. So when you're in a relationship like that, here's you. Here's the person that you're dealing with. You have one or two choices. Either stay here and you stay there. Basically, what that means is what you got's what you got. It is what, and I know a couple like this. I know a couple who it's exactly like what you're talking about there. And the only choice that the awakened person has is to deal with it. You deal with it. Or you keep growing and you keep evolving. And at that point, the person that you're dealing with will either have to make the decision to grow and evolve with you, or the two of you have to separate. Period. Because the more you grow and the more you evolve, it'll eventually, if you grow and evolve far enough, it'll get to the point where the universe won't even let you two be in the same room together. You know what I'm saying? It just won't happen. Period. I've seen people disappear off the face of the earth. It's fucking crazy. So again, my advice there would be, again, and this is another perfect example of what we were talking about a minute ago. Perfect example. The advice I'm going to give you is the advice I would give a starseed or somebody that wants to come out of the game. Keep evolving. But if you're a long-term human and you and this person have a karmic contract that you've been trying to work out lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, I really can't give you any advice, because the only way I would be able to give you advice is I would have to talk to both of you. Not only would I have to talk to both of you, but I would have to have both of you willing to listen and do the work. You know how hard that is? That's hard as fuck, dude. Getting two people willing to listen and do the work. You know? So, and after a certain point, that would just kind of like turn into like marriage counseling, you know, wouldn't it? You know, maybe spiritual marriage counseling, but that's kind of like what that would turn into, you know? And I'm just not even really in the position, I don't think, to do that. Not only am I not in the position to do that, but I don't care about the human game that much. I really don't. I really don't. And I mean no disrespect when I say that. I know that sounds kind of rude. And I really don't mean it that way. The human game isn't that important to me. You know, it's just not. And I'm not saying that it's a bad game. If you love the human game, fucking play it, play it, play it. I'm not saying don't play it. I'm just saying, me as an individual, I'm not that interested in it. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person if you're interested in it. I just, you know, again, revert back to the kid playing the video game. Yeah, cool game, kid, but I'm just really not digging it. If you are, cool, right on. I'm not, though. Make sense? Anywho, I'm probably going to have to get up out of here in a couple of minutes, y'all. Probably going to have to get on up out of here. Yep. I'm probably at least going to make it a point. Oh, no, you know one thing that I'm going to do? I'm thinking about doing this on like my main channel. I'm thinking about like setting aside one night a week to go on my main channel and do like a chat Q&A type thing, like a podcast, a live chat, whatever, on my main channel. I've been thinking that's an idea I've had cooking up for a little bit. And I don't know. After I get my tarot card reading videos done, I'm tapped out for the night. And I'm like, I'm done, dude. But I'm thinking I want to start squeezing that in too. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Thanks for tuning in and listening to me blab and run my mouth. I'll see y'all later on at some point on my main channel. Enjoy the rest of your day.